Forget US, forget China, forget India. Look who is going to stop the Russia-Ukraine war once and for all. It is Africa. A surprising development has emerged in recent days as African countries express their willingness to mediate and play a role in resolving the conflict. This newfound involvement of African countries in the Russia-Ukraine war shows that Africa has truly arrived at the world stage. See this report now. According to official sources, a peace plan endorsed by African leaders is gaining momentum. The Comoro Islands, currently holding the presidency of the African Union, along with Senegal, Uganda, Egypt, the Republic of the Congo, and Zambia are backing this initiative. Notably, 4 of these countries, South Africa, Congo, Senegal, and Uganda, abstained from a UN vote last year that condemned Russia's invasion, while Zambia and Egypt voted in favor of the motion. These African nations are now actively seeking the support of influential players such as UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the US, and the UK for their peace initiative. But first of all, let's see what is Africa's peace initiative. The plan includes a provision for an immediate ceasefire and designates the UN as the main platform for the ultimate peace process. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed optimism about the African initiative, hoping it would garner active discussion among the parties involved. Next question. Why would Russia or Ukraine pay attention to Africa's peace initiative? It is worth noting that some of these African countries have historical ties or neutral positions concerning Russia. Zambia, for instance, has maintained ties with Russia over the years. Similarly, Uganda, although an ally of the US in East Africa, has expressed its friendship with Russia and its impartial stance on the Russia-Ukraine war. On the other hand, African nations are a huge market for Ukraine. Before the Russia-Ukraine war started, Africa was the largest importer of Ukraine's food. So, both Russia and Ukraine won't like to squander away their ties with the giant continent. Russian media reports indicate that a delegation of African countries is currently coordinating with the details of its visit to Moscow and Kyiv, aiming to present its reconciliation initiative. Both Russia and Ukraine have agreed to receive this African delegation, which comprises a group of African heads of state. Here is one more important question. Why is Africa taking this matter into its own hands? Simply because they are the ones most affected. The West can afford to keep escalating the conflict. However, this is creating a hunger crisis far away in Africa. We have seen reports which show how Europe has been stealing Africa's food by diverting all Ukraine's exports to European countries. A UN report states that the Russian invasion of Ukraine triggered a shortage of about 30 million tons of grains on the continent, along with a sharp increase in cost. Then the next problem is about fertilizers. African countries need Russian fertilizer to grow crops at home. You see, it is a double whammy for Africa. It cannot import food, it cannot grow crops at home either. So Africa is finally standing up. And that is why we see allegations by US and the West to implicate South Africa for sending weapons to Russia. As per a BBC report, these allegations were baseless and later a US envoy apologized for the same. South Africa has already been grey-listed by the Financial Action Task Force. Well, this is how the West is trying to muzzle African voices. The West has been stripping Africa of its riches for decades now. It understands if Africa joins hands with Russia, China, and India, they will lose a submissive cash cow.